Right, I'm just going to walk you through my motorbike sort of photo and video kit that I take on the trips that we do around Europe, because I don't see why everyone shouldn't be able to take decent footage and get a decent piece of sort of video when you get home to show all the family, etc. It's the reason I started it, and it's good fun to do, and it's something that's long lasting, and everyone else seems to enjoy it as well. Really, it all goes in this Wunderlich Elephant tank bag, which I have on the back of the bike. That's great because it makes it dead easy to access. You know, I can just jump off the bike, I can just lean round, all sits in the top there. It's all very compact. I've got everything in there I need for video and photo. I'll run you through that in a bit more detail in a minute, but it's quite handy as well. It's got a charging exit there, so I can plug into the extra socket I've got on under the bike here, plug it in, charge as I go, just charge my iPhone 6 as I'm going, although that's going to change for this year because I'll be charging that on the front of the bike. So I'll probably swap one of these over, so I'll have a couple of micro USBs so I can charge the GoPro as I go if I'm not using it. I can charge actually the battery power pack as I'm running as well, because then I can, when we stop for camping in the evening, I can just use that to top up all the cameras, batteries, etc. So what I'll do, I'll whiz that off, which is dead easy. You just flip it up at the back. Good thing about this Wunderlich tank bag, pull it straight off, and it becomes effectively a walk-in camera bag, or with the straps on it as well. But I'll take you inside and run you through actually what's in it and how I use it. Okay, this is the inside of the elephant tank bag, and the first thing I'm going to do is show you a couple of pieces of kit, because I'm breaking the golden rule at the moment, and you've got the old shaky footage thing going on, because to get decent video it's really about trying to stabilize the footage. So the Gorilla tripod here, great, very flexible, fits to loads of different solutions, nice little ball head joint on it, nice easy tripod adapter and a spirit level just to keep things easy and save having to level things up in editing. So I'll be using that because I need to attach this to the iPhone 6 just so I can get some decent stable footage. What I do to use that, I use a thing called the Shoulderpod. It's actually an iPhone 6 Plus I've got, which is quite a large. It doesn't fit a lot of these standard adapters. This one's good because it's very good quality, very robust, straightforward screw adapter, and it fits the iPhone 6 Plus actually in a UAG case as well, so I don't have to keep taking it out of the case just to get it on the tripod for video. Very useful. That will also connect to the VO time-lapse sort of rotating turntable, which I'll show you in a bit, which again great for effects, and it means I can just sit there, leave it, forget it, and have a cup of tea while the time-lapse is taking. Be great when I'm up in the Alps, so when the my main video of a trip this year, because we're doing 3,000 miles through the Alps this year, once that's up on YouTube, hopefully you should see the effects of this thing in action. But I'm going to need these two now. I'm going to pop those together to get this thing on a tripod to stop the shake, and I can walk you through the rest of the bag. Right, hopefully that's a little bit better up there. I'll take a photo of that setup up there so you can see just how flexible that shoulder pod stroke Joby Gorilla Pod type thing is. Works beautifully with the iPhone 6, and it's so easy to set up. Took me about 10 seconds. Okay, so what else is in the bag? Well, the first one is the almost obligatory GoPro if you're running on a motorcycle or any kind of action camera. Although I have to say I'm adapting that this year, because previously this has been all around the motorbike, but quite excited about the new Garmin Verb XE, which is coming out shortly, which I'm going to leave permanently wired into the front of the bike, almost like a dash cam. But beauty of that one is it records all sorts of other stuff, like your GPS position. You can overlay it. It's got lots of stuff around G-forces and sort of throttle and positions. You can use ANT plus sensors on the heart rate monitors, all sorts. So this is going to become more of a day-to-day sort of sweeping, which is why I put it on a thing called a Steadicam. This is a Steadicam Curve, which is not a particularly expensive device. GoPros are coming down in price as well, quite substantially now. So this is going to be a sort of a good quality video footage as I'm running through. So this sits on a I suppose you call it a gimbal, and it's just used for doing. Whoops, I haven't got used to it yet, but it's just used for trying to get steadier footage as you're on the move. So that's going to be a bit of a new toy for this year, just for sort of sweeping shots through campsites, coming round corners, that kind of stuff. It's just a bit of an experiment, really. So then my main camera for all the good shots and a lot of the audio footage in the evenings and the commentaries, etc. I just use a Sony Alpha 6000. I use that because it's very good, very compact mirrorless camera, but it has the option obviously of changing lenses. I've experimented with all sorts of different stuff, went down the SLR routes. I mean, they are huge when you're trying to camp and sort of tour on a motorcycle, so you end up, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get half the kit I've got in here if I'd had an SLR, because the lenses also are a lot bigger. This is the sort of lens that comes with it. This is the sort of the power zoom lens. Don't use that one much apart from video footage, to be honest. The main one I use is for photography, so you've got the wide angle lens there. That's a lovely little pancake lens. It's tiny when it sits on the bike, when it sits on the camera, sorry. The other one I also use is a fisheye lens. It's actually an adapter. It sits on the front of that lens, but it creates a lovely shot, and I'll show you a couple of shots on the video just so you can get an idea of the kind of stuff it does. Great for when you're sort of parked up in the evenings around town, architectural stuff. Just to give you a feel. Not so good for the video shooting, but create some great photos. That's the adapter for the bike. That's what plugs into the actual side of the motorbike. So I'll have that running down the side of the motorbike into the dual USB there. That allows me to then charge everything that's in it. You've got a strap for the Sony for the evenings. This is I don't know, it seems like a Joby advocate. I'm genuinely not, but this just happens to be a brilliant strap because it allows you to adjust the width of it. Just have a look on their website for the Joby strap. Plugs into the bottom. It's a little bit bulky, to be honest, but I find the convenience that it has in the evening and being able to tuck it around behind you as you're walking around town, and just one flip up it comes without this camera banging around all the time is great stuff. That is not very exciting. That's just a waterproof cover for the tank bag, just because I've got so much electronics in here. It's just it's kind of an insurance policy really. This thing is pretty much supposed to be waterproof anyway. This thing, new little toy. In fact, I'll take that off because I'm not going to need that, because when it's in the case, my camera, my iPhone actually doesn't fit in there anyway. But I've got a choice here. This is for doing time-lapse photography, where you set it up. You just set it up on a timer, twist it on. It's like a clock really, and it will just tick down for up to an hour, just turning the camera as you do the time lapse, which is very simple, very effective. Creates some lovely shots, particularly when you're time lapse video. And know that you're going to see some of those come August, September time when I've finished my next video of our trip around the Alps. The beauty of that one is standard tripod thread on the bottom as well, so, and it will take a CSC, so I can. This has got a time-lapse function on it, which you can use. The GoPro's got a time-lapse function on it, which has got a tripod adapter. My iPhone 6 with the Shoulderpod, which is you up there, that's exactly the same. So I've got three options there for taking time-lapse photography. Really easy. It costs. It's a movie X-Lapse. It's called. It costs about 10 quid, and it's got fold-out legs on the bottom, just to give you a little bit more support. Plonk it down, go make yourself a cup of tea, and come back to a lovely photograph, lovely little video set. The only other things I've got in there, really, I've got tiny little stainless steel. That's all the junk. It's the spare batteries, it's the power charging cables, it's the tripod adapter for the GoPro, it's a charging cable for this should I want to charge it on the run. That's important. It's just a cleaning sort of stick, I suppose. You've got brush one end and you've got a carbon fibre pad the other, just for getting all the crap off all the lenses. And again, because I rely on USB on the bike so much, just a spare charging port there, should I need it, should the other one pack up on me. Because unfortunately in these days of technology, power is all important. And that only leaves one thing left in the tank bag, and that's the universal power pack really. This is what I've kind of settled on. The beauty of this one is I've actually got in my emergency sort of pack in the bike, I've actually got a jump lead set, so I can actually jump start the bike should I get flat battery with this. Just plug it in there, as long as it's got at least a quarter charge or more, it will jump start the bike and off we go. I've had a couple of instances where, because BMW bikes having quite a lot of electronics on them, just for some reason hasn't quite shut down properly, I've come in the next morning to a flat battery. It just saves having to carry around a huge set of plug leads, or actually waiting on someone else to turn up and jump start you for you. This is actually, I think, about 15,000 milliamp hours. So it's a massive pack. Comes with a torch. Cost about 50 quid on eBay, but it seems absolutely to do the job, and it's good enough to charge an iPad, I believe, about 5 or 6 times. Not that I have an iPad, but it'll do all this kit here should I need it to. That's really a backup for when I'm camping in the evenings, because the vast majority of the time it all gets charged on the bike. So that's it. With that lot all together, you should be able to get enough decent footage. Well, I certainly try to get enough decent footage when I come back in the evenings, and back at the ranch I can put together a semi-decent video, and hope you can do the same.